Thank you for having me.
So, Monica, what have you learned recently about the Austin market and looking back how 2017 was, and now looking forward, what are you projecting for 2018?
Well, I don't know if it's my projection, but I have had the opportunity to go to a couple of economic summits since the beginning of the year. And the word on the street is basically 2018 will be really similar to 2017. There will be an increase in sales numbers of about 3 to 5% in Austin and Round Rock. There's been a little bit of concern. We've had such a long span of prices increasing, probably the most in our memories. And there's a little concern there's going to be a correction, but what they're saying is that it's just going to be a soft glide to a soft landing, not a nosedive. So it's encouraging.
Great. Absolutely. And what about the luxury market? Are you seeing the same thing there?
A lot of the economists are feeling it's a little static, a little bit more of a buyer's market. Personally, I'm finding it really busy out there. I've had a huge influx of Californians and New Yorkers call and refer people, especially people in the really, really high end because of the new tax reform and the consequences with not being able to deduct as much on mortgage insurance and property tax and the fact that we don't have a state income tax. So it'll be interesting to see how that pans out because I'm personally finding it really busy.
So what kinds of things should people pay attention to when monitoring the health of the economy?
Well, they talk a lot about just general GDP, consumer confidence. Unemployment's a big one, and fortunately, Austin has really low unemployment. It's 4% considered fully employed, and we're just above that number. We do have a slower job growth than we've had in the past. 2013 was much more as compared to 2017. They say that for every 3 new jobs created, that should equal about 1 home start. And we have, I think it's 16,700 home starts right now with about 28,200 jobs, meaning that for the first time in 11 years, Austin has overbuilt. I think, are in the top 25 in the nation of number of residential permits. So it's interesting because we still have a lot of people moving here, but the job growth itself has not increased as much. The other thing that I learned was having to do with new construction. And just something to look out for. They say in 2018, due to supply and demand, that the costs are going up about 15 to 25%. We've had Hurricane Harvey, et cetera. And what's happening is a lot of people are staying in their homes 10 years or so versus the average of 7 years. And there's a huge explosion of renovations and remodeling.
Well, hopefully this will pick back up. I know that you're incredibly busy, but just for Austin in general, because there are so many fabulous events that are happening, so many wonderful fine arts events specifically, and I know that you wanted to share some of those with us today.
Well, I always like to talk about Fab Properties and football and fun events and fueling others. And so a couple of things that were exciting. We had the Refuge Ranch, which I've talked to before. I've talked on the show about it before. It's a place for rest and restoration for teenage girls who've been rescued out of sex trafficking. And we had the Hope Appetit event in January. And out of about 200 attendees, $1 million was raised, meaning that for the $6.5 million that they needed to complete the facility it has 48 beds and cottages for these young ladies. They only it's a $6.5 million project. They only have $300,000 left to have it completed debt-free, which is awesome.
That's incredible.
The other exciting thing happening is the South by Southwest Festival. Most people have heard about it. But Austin it's the first and only U.S. city to get a UNESCO designation of City of Media Arts. So one cool thing happening is at the Four Seasons on March 12th and 13th, Austin's being celebrated as an innovative city that's bridging technology and art. And so there'll be an exhibition, a showcase with local artists and teams of artists, showing their art and technology. So that's a pretty cool thing.
That's really, really cool. And I wish I could go to Austin for all of those great events because it's such a wonderful city. We are running out of time, but quickly, I would just want to hear about this $7.5 million home that you have on the market.
Yes. So this is a very rare opportunity. It's in Westlake Hills, very, very coveted area, about 10 minutes to downtown. This particular property is a Hilltop estate, very private, and it's got a huge downtown view, 9+ acres. There is a house it's just over 6,500 square feet. It's a beautiful home. Hundreds of thousands of dollars of renovation has gone into it, but what's the main thing is the property, because the house really, the lot is deserving of like the Mac Daddy house of Austin. So I think one of these California buyers is going to come in and get it. It's beautiful views, and it's in the county, so easier to build on.
Absolutely. The Mac Daddy house of Austin. I love that. Monica, Fabbio, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you.